Hi guys, and welcome to MediaByte. This is a very different type of video, so we've never kind of done this before. As you may know, mob movies are a critical genre for filmmaking and have been for some time. This is the first top 5s that we've ever done, so if you'd like to continue with this series, please let us know so we can make sure to do more like this. If you'd like to follow us, you can do so on Twitter, it's at MediaByteCo, and on Instagram, it's at MediaByteCompany. Before we get started, make sure that you understand that these are just my list. If you have a different list, please put them down in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear what you think, what you don't think, what you disagree with. Be nice, be civil in the comments below. But other than that, let's just get this started. Coming in at number 5 is The Killing by Stanley Kubrick. The Killing is a movie by Stanley Kubrick. It was released in 1956 and follows a character named Johnny Clay who is committing one more crime before he gets married. That is about as much of the premise of the movie I want to give out, but I do think if you enjoy gangster movies or mob movies, and if you enjoy Stanley Kubrick, to watch this movie as one of his earlier films is amazing and absolutely worth watching simply for what Stanley Kubrick would become later. Number 4 comes The Untouchables. This movie was directed by Brian De Palma. The film stars Kevin Costner, Charles Warren Smith, Andy Garcia, and Robert De Niro. There's a group of people who band together called The Untouchables to try to stop Al Capone's gang during Prohibition. This movie is actually really good, but there are some amazing movies that when you get to this point in my list, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of these movies, but these top 4 are my personal favorite mob movies that I really struggled trying to put them in any really specific order for this top 5. But we'll see exactly if you guys agree with my list or not when the time comes, and that time is now. Number 3, we have Goodfellas. So I really struggled between putting this movie at number 2 or number 3, and you'll see why in a moment. But there is something so incredible about specifically Goodfellas and the way it handles the mafia/mob part of its movie that nothing else has ever been quite done that same way. This movie follows a man from childhood to adulthood as he enters his way into the mafia and what happens to him as he gets older and older and further into the mayhem of that world. Coming in at number 2, we have The Godfather, the first one. I'm sure you think that I'm crazy for putting what many people consider the best movie, if not the best mob movie of all time, here at the second place, but I promise you it'll all make sense in due time. However, I do want to say that because this movie is in second place does not mean it is bad at all. This movie is literally almost impossible to say a single negative thing about it. It's the story of the mob family and the separation between the family of the mob and the mob family, and how sometimes these things tend to overlap. This movie is probably the most popular out of this entire list, especially with how much it has developed itself into pop culture. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out at this moment if you can. Stop watching this video and go watch The Godfather, and if you want to, you can come back, but it's up to you. Moving on to number 1, we have The Godfather Part II. This movie beat its predecessor as the best mob movie of all time in my opinion. Following certain plot beats that happened in the previous movie, a character has to dwell with events that happened in the previous movie and deal with being the top of the chain and what that actually means when you are now running the mob. This movie has some of the best dialogue, characters, and storylines of any mob movie I have ever seen. You need to check this out the moment you possibly can. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you like this type of video, please make sure you leave it in the comments below. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at MediaByteCo, and Instagram is at MediaByteCompany. You can donate any amount of money on Patreon for behind the scenes, commentary tracks, and ad-free specials. Thank you for watching, and we hope you stick around.